Hi, welcome to this very first video on pattern drafting course online. In this first video, I'm going to be showing you how you can read your measuring tape and your pattern rulers. It's amazing how a lot of people don't even know how to read the tapes. And if you want to go really into pattern drafting as a business or even as a hobby, this is where to start. So let's go straight and let me show you how you can read your rulers, how to understand things like 3/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, 4/8 of an inch, and so on. So let's go straight and let's start. Pattern rulers come in different forms. The most important thing is for you to understand what all the markings on these pattern rulers stand for. You have this transparent ruler. For instance, this transparent ruler is in centimeters. So some of them can come in centimeters and some of them can come in inches. When you're buying a tape measure, it is better you buy a tape measure that has one side in inches, like this one, and the opposite side in centimeters. Because you may want to use centimeters sometimes in your pattern drafting measurements, and you may want to use inches sometimes. So let's take a close look at this measuring tape. Now this is a tape measure. Let's look at between 1 inch and 2 inches. If you look closely, you see you have 8 slides, 8 sections in between this 1 inch tape. Now, you see a very long section. This signifies half of an inch. You see a medium long section, that is 1/4 of an inch. And then you see the smaller section, which signifies 1/8 of an inch. So let's say you want to measure 1 inch and 1/8 of an inch. So that will be 1 inch plus this. So this is where your measurement is going to be. This is 1/1/8 of an inch. This is 1/2/8 of an inch. But from normal fraction, 2/8, if you cancel out 2 by 2 and 2 by 8, you get 1/4. So this here is 1/2/8 of an inch, or 1/1/4 of an inch. So that is why the normal mathematics fraction is very important for you to be able to know how to do your measurements, especially when it comes to pattern drafting. But if you turn over to the centimeter side, you discover that in between 1 centimeter, instead of having 8 sections, you have 10. You have 10 sections, if you look at it very well. If you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you want to say you want 2 1/4 centimeter, so that will be 2 centimeters, and then this is 1/10 or 2/10, 3/10 of a centimeter, 4/10 of a centimeter, 5/10 of a centimeter, and if you cancel out your 5 and your 10, this is half a centimeter. So essentially, that is how to read your measuring tape. It is so important because you find out that in pattern drafting, you do a lot of these fractions. A lot of fractions will come in, and if you don't know how to actually use your tape to measure out these fractions, it can become a very huge problem. So let's go to the rulers. This is what is called a metric ruler, especially these transparent rulers. These transparent rulers are very, very, very handy when it comes to pattern drafting. And it's so important that you understand how to use all these markings on these metric rulers. Metric rulers are used all over the world, except of course in the United States. And they actually come in centimeters. So how do you use them? If you look at this metric ruler, you'll see that in between a centimeter, let me come here, in between this one, in between this 1 and 2 centimeters, you have 10 spaces, 10 lines, you can see. So you find out that if you want to, say you want to measure 2.4, this is not clear. As I was saying, so this here, this from here to here is 1 centimeter. That means 2 boxes is 1 centimeter. So let's say you want to measure 1.2 centimeters. So it will be 1 centimeter and 0.2 the second line. So this is where you are going to place your measurement. So that's why these short lines are very important. If you want to measure 1.5 centimeters, it is 1 centimeter and half of a centimeter. 1/4 will be 1 centimeter and the 4th line of this ruler. So once you know that at least 2 spaces is equivalent, 2 spaces here is equivalent to 1 centimeter, 2 spaces this way is also equivalent to 1 centimeter. And these short lines, you can also find them at the center of the ruler, which also makes it quite easy to use, especially when you're adding ease that has to do with fractions, or when you're adding sewing allowances that has to do with fractions. What is most important is for you to actually understand that 2.4 centimeters is equivalent to 1 inch. So if you say you want to add 1.5 inch to a pattern, or do you want to add 1.5 inch of sewing ease, you know that 1 inch is 2.4, half an inch should be 1.2. So that will give you how much? It will give you 3.6 centimeters. So all you have to come here is 3, this is 3.5, and this here is 3.6, and that is your measurement. Now this is the OmniGrid ruler. I love this ruler. You can do so much with this ruler, and you can use it any way that you want. For instance, if you look at here, from here to here is 5 centimeters. From here to here. No, let me be sure. And as you can see, you have long lines, you have short lines, if you look at it very well. And once you know that from here to here is 5 centimeters, that means from here to here is 1 centimeter. This is half of a centimeter. This is 1/4 of a centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. So the shorter lines, you know, that gives you 1/4, the longer lines gives you half. This is 3/4 of a centimeter, and this is a full centimeter. So the lines are bolder. That is why I like using the rulers. And the good thing is that you can use it this way. You can also use it this way. That is the OmniGrid ruler. Apart from that, using OmniGrid rulers, this one also comes with angles. You have 30 degrees, you have 45 degrees, and you have 60 degrees. How do you use these angles when it comes to pattern drafting? So let's say I want to maybe create a dart or something. I want to do a style that is about 60 degrees away from my center seam line. How do I use this Omni Grid ruler to do that? Now you can look at here, this is 60 degrees, and you see that there's a line that runs across that 60 degrees. All you have to do is to ensure that that line is placed along the line that you want to get your 60 degrees from, just like so. You can see the line is placed there. So if I now draw, a line from here, that here is my 60 degrees. That's my 60 degrees away from the center front. If I want to do 30 degrees and 45 degrees, it's the same formula. For 45 degrees, I'll just place it along the line of the 45. That's the 45 degrees. Do exactly the same thing if I just place it along this line. Let's look at it. That's the 45 degrees line. And if I draw here, so from here to here is my 45 degrees. So you get the drift. So whatever degrees you want, if you want 60 degrees and whatever you want, this ruler is very helpful. So now let me illustrate how you can use your tape and or even your transparent ruler, especially if you're doing seam allowances or if you need to measure for ease and all that. So let's say you want to do a half an inch seam allowance after you finish creating your pattern. And you can see here, you just get to your half an inch, just place it there. And that here is your half an inch. And this here will be your seam allowance. If you're using the ruler and maybe you want to do the same half an inch but in centimeters, we know that 1 centimeter is 2.5, 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. So half an inch should be around 2.2 centimeters. Sorry, 1 inch is 2.4 centimeters. Half an inch should be 1.2 centimeters. So you come here and you look for your 1.2 centimeters. This is your 1 centimeter, and then 2 lines next to it will give you your 1.2. So you just place it there. Come down here to your 1.2 centimeters. And that is your seam allowance. So essentially, those are how to use this measuring tape and these metric rulers. Congratulations on finishing your first course on this pattern drafting course online. You're now ready to go to the next course. In the next course, we are going to be drafting a bodice block with a shoulder dart.